How you doing, sir? It's a privilege to meet you this morning. I mean,
it's weird to hear yourself being talked about.
I mean, how do you feel when you? I'm sure this is not the first time you're hearing someone talk about you. I mean, read something about what you've been doing all over the years. How does it make you feel?
I don't listen to it usually.
But you listen to this one, I
The
promise.
thing is, I can't avoid this one because it's right there.
Yeah.
And your voice is so prominent, and I'm like, what do I do? Phones.
You don't have anything else to do. You're not even with your phone, so you just have to listen.
I have my phone. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Let me listen to it. Pretend someone else. It's someone else. It's not me. It's someone
Wow,
else.
good to have you here, man. I want to say a big thank you to the powers that brought you to Ghana this season. I mean, gave us the opportunity to link up with you because I know Kwame Yeboah is not an easy person to come by. He's usually busy, very, very busy.
I'm quite easy to come.
Do you have a plan? Do you set out like a plan at the beginning of the year in terms of where you're going to be, and are you able to keep up with a plan throughout?
Yeah, that's how we used to be until 2020.
Until COVID came in, right?
Yes, and then
I know.
those plans kind of started flying away. But I mean, I do have a plan, and I knew about the tour I did with Craig David 2 years ago. I also know about some stuff that's happening. Some of them might happen, some of them might not happen, some of them might cancel, might not cancel, but majority of the time I kind of have it together.
I'm told so apart from the family you've made, that is a music family. I'm told you came out of a music family as well.
Yes.
Tell me, I mean, I want to start off with that before I get to know where you grew up and, all them things. I hear some Kwashibu. I don't know, that is a town. It's a town, right?
Well, I mean, I would love it to be a town.
Okay.
As an area.
It's an area, okay.
It's not far from La Paz. I grew up in La Paz and Tesano, and then ended up at Airport Residential, and then
I don't know why you're making Airport Residential a quiet one. You ended up at Airport Residential. Airport Residential, man.
it's the noisiest place. You hear airplanes.
Yeah.
In Kwashibu, I don't hear that much.
You don't hear-
On Sundays, I hear the church. The church is really noisy. Trust me.
At least they used to do just Sundays. These days they do all the days.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
It's really bad.
All nights, midnights, day nights. It's just a lot.
I don't know why they advertise so much. They need people to hear them.
It's business.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, the business bill.
By the way. So yeah, I mean, Kwashibu is an area just between Yamisha Junction and Kwashima Junction.
Okay.
We have Kwashibu in the middle.
Yeah, like a small size.
A small side, and I spent a lot of time there. I've been there since 2003 or 2. But then I was going there before I moved there. So
When you realized you love music, what were the musical influences around you?
when I realized,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I know it wasn't you, but
I'm trying to figure out like how
you do that.
I realized.
Yeah.
I think it was part of me.
yeah.
It was more when I realized I shouldn't go through with just doing accounting and that thing and just do just music.
Yeah.
That's more. But when I realized I could do music, I was very much into it. I didn't see what I was doing. I just got taught. I mean, each time someone would tell me, "I think you're gonna be a musician." I think so. But I'm a musician. And I heard that in the background each time. But I lived a very musical life from when I was, 6. I think I could see myself when I was 6. And I grew up in La Paz, in La Paz, which had all the high life musicians. Sneedy Duncan, Nampedu, City Boys, Kofi Sami, all of them. And I know them. I know them. And they're first
And I think Alhaji City Kubari also had a house around there somewhere.
Yes. No. He in the beginning, yes.
Yeah,
And then he moved to, because I worked in the studio like when I was maybe 13 or 12.
Wow.
No, I was working there. I went to play there. No, I went to actually play, yeah.
Nice. At 13.
Yes. So
Wow.
I stand in the box all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been with you since, and all these guys influence your style. I mean, you were picking bits and bits from them. In between that, you had to obviously go to school.
Yes.
Tell us the schools you attended and how music influenced your stay there. How prominent was your music, interest in that period?
Well, I think I started from Cosmos Preparatory, which is also in La Paz, and then went to Takwa Secondary, I went to Douglas Secondary. I went to Pank Secondary, and then ended up in Denmark.
Wow.
But music was always part of me. I was always in the choir or in the play playing a drum instrument, because I would play drums when I was 5 or 6. But then, guitars and stuff came in when I was 7 or 8. I could play a bit of guitar.
A bit of it,
but then I think around 11, I could be called a good guitar player. And around 14, I switched from playing guitar to playing keyboards. And,
did you enjoy your stay at school?
Yes, I enjoyed it up until when I enjoyed playing gigs
more than
because school was a bit boring at that point. I was pretty good in school, so it was boring. And then I started retiring, and it wasn't good at all. Like, wow, go school. But the thing is, at home, it wasn't like I had the instruments to play every time.
Yeah.
You couldn't have the instrument, you had to go to school. Guitar, when I go to school, that was it. That was the main thing. But
I'm trying to figure out if you had the form of support you have for your kids with regards to their music. Now then, I'm asking that because, obviously around that time you have to go to school. It's a must. Everybody's trying to get a white collar job, and you have so much interest in music, so much that you said you started way early. I mean, it's around 6 years you started doing things, and all that. I'm sure it would definitely interfere in your education somewhere. When you decided, my interest for music and playing gigs is so strong that I might have to just give up on this side a bit. What was your family's reaction?
No, that was never going to happen.
There was a no from the start.
There was a no from the start. My mom didn't want to be like my dad. It's not the first thing. My mom was like, I'm not going to do another son. My dad is always touring, out and about, doing different things. So if I did the same thing, it means I won't be around as well. And she wasn't okay with that. So
she wanted to keep you.
Big time. I'm an only son from my mom as well. So
that makes sense.
I had to, I did it. I had to do it all for her to be happy. But the support wasn't the same. Like I let my kids pretty much grow up into what they want to be and let them find themselves. I didn't push music into them. I didn't do any of that stuff. I let them grow into
what they wanted to,
personalities slightly. So they got to experience what I didn't experience. I mean, my dad was happy when he realized I could play. He sat me down a couple of times and be like, okay, where you say. But he wasn't there when I was learning. He wasn't there when I could do the thing. He didn't realize I could play good shakere and cowbell. I was a very good timekeeper. But Sine Yedonko's house, which was opposite our house, because they didn't tour as much as my dad, they had rehearsals every time. I went there every time after school. So I would go there and hang with all the band. Sleepy Mike Gemfi was in the band, Shaggy Reggae was in the band.
These are great names, guys.
Yeah, Sally Aduku and all these guys, and I'll go and hang with them. And they were all in their 30s and 40s, so I kind of got a good hairstyle, and that stuff. I was a happy child. I was playing music with all these grown-ups, so But the support wasn't the same.
Wasn't the same. Now let's talk about family since we brought that up. How is it like raising your children, as a father, and at the same time coaching their, music skills? I mean, I know you can't not be the coach in their lives, with regards to the music. With what you know, and of course, the fact that even your dad wasn't really around to see you pick up certain skills, and now you are there and you know that your kids are into this and you have the opportunity to help them. How are you raising them, as a dad and also as a coach? Like, are there conflicts in there sometimes, or is it the same thing?
There are a lot of conflicts because I had kids quite young.
Okay.
So sometimes they're like my friends and not.
I'm sure all the time they're your friends.
I think it changes, but I think we all have tones changes. Like my daughter calls me Kwame. It's cool. That's how we live. But whenever something happens, you hear Dad, and when you hear that,
not Kwame anymore.
When you hear that, it's like, okay, something's happened. But if I said Cece, then it'd be like a different story. Hey Cece, hey Kwame, what you saying son, what you saying daughter, what you saying father, all that. It's been a great ride. I mean, Cece's been in my life since I was 19. So we've had a very long run. And it's been good. It's been good and bad.
I'm sure people are calculating the age now.
Oh man, I don't.
Somebody is on Cece's page trying to find her age. Balance.
Yeah.
Keep working, guys.
No, so it's been a great ride. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be this good. When I heard about the situation that I was going to be a father, I thought my career was dead and all that stuff. Well, you think about, because I had high ambitions. I wanted to go further. I wanted to work in different places, but I also wanted to be a good father. I didn't want to be, just.
that must have been a tough decision.
Yes, that's also part of why I never left fully. Like even if we travel, I'll be back. We had to be back home because I wasn't married, so I had to be back. I had to be back to take care of the kids, and I couldn't take them on the road every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
that had to happen.
Yeah, that had to happen. But I've had some great time with my kids. They're amazing. They've had to be responsible quite, early in their age as well, because from when Cece was 8, she had to take care of her other brother, little brother, and
because Daddy was on the road.
Yes, and also she has a lot of school. She takes her.
And they understand.
They understand because they've seen it from when they're little.
Yeah.
Cece's been a great daughter from everything she does at home and what she has to do, and also it's not easy being a father. Yeah. I'm so ambitious. I'm a perfectionist, so everything you do has to be perfect. Yeah. If not, there's a problem. That's the thing, yeah. So I kind of know where I come in with my difficult parts.
I'm really picking a lot, honestly. Trust me, like you're sharing bits and bits of your experience that are very important because we're all creators, There are certain decisions you need to make at certain times.
Yeah.
You might not be proud of now, but in the near future, it will all make sense.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw Cece perform on stage? When she really took up, performance and, did her thing on stage?
Man, I was over the moon. I wasn't in town actually, and I got someone to film the whole thing and video call me so I could watch the whole thing live. I wanted to see it live, and I was just overjoyed because she didn't show those skills at home. She wanted to be something else. She didn't want to be a musician. She wanted to do music. But I suppose it's in her blood, so she can't really.
Yeah, she can't really resist it.
Whatever she does, she's.
Did you call her after you saw the performance?
Absolutely.
What did you tell her?
Even before and after. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of what she does. I'm proud of what Carlo does as well. My son Chrissy, what he does as well. They're both doing amazing, and I know it's not easy on them because they always have to kind of merit whatever they do to what I'm doing, and I'm also not easy because I'll listen to stuff and critique it every time. I know that's not good enough. And whenever I do that, I don't do that like a father because I'm used to doing that as a musician. So whenever I do that, I take out the musical director role or the producer role.
You put the dad on the side.
The dad is not there.
And then maybe after that you can.
After that, I have to come back and be nice, and she's like, "No, you can't just."
You can't just switch it to rules like that.
Yeah, she does that every time.
Now, this help us understand how the music scene was like around the time you decided to do music professionally. What were some of the music systems around? Record label systems, how were things like?
It was terrible, but there was more money in it than there is now.
Is it?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I mean, today, you don't really make any money out of it, right? But back in the day, if you sold 100 cassettes, the money came to you.
Yeah, you saw your money directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, imagine like artists like Kojointri or Amashi Dede or any of these guys who did it for such a long time, selling physical copies. Physical copies. Yeah. They sold physical copies, not like.
And they could see their cash right.
The money came in, exactly. I mean, of course, they had their own bootleg times and all the times where it wasn't good, but still, the money was there physically in front of you. Unlike today, where everything is just streams, and I don't think we even
have to go through a lot of channels before.
There we go.
You have to play a couple, numbers before you can make it.
You have to pay Spotify and these guys. You have to pay them first before you actually can start making money. Yeah.
But then it's just.
And then what you get out of the whole thing is peanuts. Unlike before.
Some are really making it too. Some are really making a lot. I think what my understanding of what you're saying is. Maybe then it was more direct and quite fast, But now you'd have to do so much to earn what you would have earned with just a little bit.
That's usually what.
My understanding.
Take it. Yeah. Craig David's first album sold 7 million albums. Right?
That's physical.
physical.
Yeah.
If it was today, how would you merit that?
That would have been 7 million streams.
And it's the same money?
No.
And how much would that be?
Well, quite less.
How much less?
Very. You win. You win. That makes a lot of sense.
The thing is, when I talk to people, they give me the whole what they have now.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
The value is obviously different.
Absolutely. You can't.
Now, when you decided to do music professionally, was that when you decided to go to Denmark?
It wasn't then. It was a bit later.
Yeah.
The Denmark thing came in after I met a few friends who came from Denmark to play, and they were like, "Man, you're very good." And I'm like, "I don't know." And they're like, "If you took some medication, it'd be really good. If you just knew what you were playing." Because I didn't know what I was playing. I was playing, but it was more practical, and I had to learn a few things.
Yeah.
I didn't gain massive stuff out of it, but I got to know and understand everything I was playing, so I can name them now and not just play by ear.
I like that. And in the period where you decided, okay, I'm going to be a pro with regards to my music career, what craft were you involved in? I mean, had you advanced so much in education where maybe you had another profession? Maybe you could call yourself, let's say, a geologist, or did you get to that point?
Yes, I could call myself an accountant, but nobody was going to be an accountant. I think I did that just for my mother.
Nice.
Because I'm a mommy's boy, and I wanted her to be happy, even though she kind of passed away before the whole thing happened.
Nice.
I wanted her to be happy about it, but she accepted me as a musician before she passed away and all that stuff. So
that's peace for you.
Oh yeah, big time. I didn't think about the thing with me. It wasn't more about career related at that time. I didn't think about success and all that stuff at that time.
Looking at making.
I was so involved in music itself, just playing good music, practicing, being a good musician, being amazing at your job, being one of the best ones. Or being the special one was more important to me than having that much money.
Like making the financial returns from it. You were more into that passion bit of it.
Passion
you enjoyed. Your happiness came from seeing yourself succeed.
Understanding music. I mean, I'm happy when I'm in my studio changing cables. I'm much happier doing that than just being outside.
In the course of doing it, when you decided to pick it up professionally, still on that, I mean, you had professionally, studied to become an accountant. Music was a side thing for you at some point. Did you at any point think, okay, let me just keep my feet on this accounting low key, just so in case or by any chance this music thing I'm trying to pursue doesn't really see me through, I'll come back to it? Did you ever get to that point?
Absolutely. I always thought that way up until 4 years ago. It's not been that. I wouldn't know where to start. Probably have to go back and polish up with some other, studies, or go and learn the new tricks that are in the game now, because my time is, 90s, early 90s.
Do you remember your first, breakthrough as a record producer? You've spoken about how lucrative things were then, with regards to the numbers, and then how you directly make some returns off it. But what really puts you out there, in your opinion? What opportunity, what chance?
I think you kind of misunderstood me.
Okay.
You're talking about returns for the artists or return for the producers?
For both. I mean, then we talked about that.
We talked about the artists.
Yes. So we're going to get to the point where we talk about yours. Okay. But music-wise, we have levels in the business we do as a creative. We get to a point where I'm there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there.
No, I mean, you see, in the beginning,
I don't think I'm there now, so I'm trying to find out.
In the beginning, we're trying things out. Okay, we've learned. I know how to play this. I've advanced. I'm able to do it on stage. But at what point did I really see myself as, I mean, I checked that off my list.
I don't think I've really advanced. That's the thing. You're not getting me. I see myself as the guy that's still trying to get to where he wants to get to. So, I don't know if I see the same as you see it.
Yeah. Rephrase.
Okay. Let me tell you what.
No, not you. Fine.
I mean, I am Kwame Yeboah. I love myself. I love my kids. I love my house. I love my
that is
life.
it.
And I love music.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk about my kids before music because that's how it's been now, but I live a very musical life, and I do music every day.
It's a part of you.
It's a part of me, and that is where I get my joy from.
What's your biggest moment in your music journey from then till now? I think that will be it. Since we don't reach.
I think that would have been playing high life music in Brazil and at Glastonbury and all that. That was like that was a great moment, like the epitome of something. Because I grew up playing high life music and listening to high life music, and then at one point I thought it was such a bad genre that is the same as all this and that. I didn't realize that I had to play my part to make it better. You know,
add your bit to it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up thinking, you know, R&B and all these music was, you know, the way to go up until I was maybe 21 or something like that. I was like, hold on a minute, all this music came from this music, so let's now think about how it's supposed to be. Yeah, but that was when I realized, oh my God, this is great. I wish my mom and dad could see me. Yeah.
What was the reception like? You know, you talked about the fact that it felt flat to you until you realized you had to put yours in there to make it special, and then you had this opportunity to perform in Brazil. And
well, you know the guy called Anderson Doe Park.
Yeah.
He was backstage on the side watching us play the whole set. And at that time, I had heard his stuff. I thought, this is 2017 or 18. And
we'll be one of them.
Yeah, one of them. And then, you know, he watched the whole gig. I had my mentor, Chick Corea, who, when I was growing up, you know, everything he did was, I had him next on the stage listening to what we were playing. I had people like Corey Henry and all that just hanging, listening to our music while we were playing there in the audience, listening to our music. And that, for me, was the you know, the bing.
39 minutes after 10, Y107.9 FM is the leaderboard series. If you have any questions for Kwame Yeboah, send it through 0202222073 on Twitter. Just put in the hashtag. You were involved with multiple bands, you know, across the different genres of music over there. Yes. What do you look out for, especially when putting together a team? And how have you managed to keep it going? I mean, whatever it is that you look out for, how have you been able to, you know, sustain it on that longevity? I mean, all that.
Well, there's two sides to it because I have the UK side and the Ghana side. So which one are you talking about now? It's very different. Okay. The Ghana side, I've always had to pick up guys that were ready to learn or take me to the next level and then kind of grow with them or teach them, mentor them and get them to where they are good enough, and whenever they think they want to leave, we can say bye and then the next match can come. That's how it's been. On the UK side, I've had friends that I met since maybe, I don't know, 1997, 98, and we all still meet and play together because we love the musicality of each other and vibe we get from each other, so we can call each other anytime. It's a bit different because in Ghana, everyone is kind of trying to get it right so they can travel.
That's the goal.
In other places, they get it right so they can stay at home. They don't want to travel somewhere. So
that's really deep, you know.
That's just what it is. So the friends I have and the people I play with in the UK, we still meet and play. You know, the people that inspired me, the people I learned from, and people that I also have inspired, we can still meet at any time and play. Whereas here, people get, you know, you teach people, they do what they have to do, and then at one point they come and they're the same as you. So now you have to also like understand that you and them are on the same level. Like, no, we're not.
Doesn't really work.
No, we're not. So that's how it is. But there are always some younger guys that are also. It's different because I haven't really had like just people that I will call that are just straight up professional and will just come and do a job for me in Ghana. Majority of the people
you need to, you know, still iron their skills and to suit how you want.
Exactly, and that's how it's been here. So it's a bit different. But there are prominent people here that I can also call and always call on, like also Francis and some of the other guys I worked with in the past. I can always call them Dominic. There are some other guys I can call each time I know they're gonna be.
They know your style.
They know my style. They were with me for at least 20 years or 18 years, 15 years, 11 years, 12 years.
Which artist or band would you describe as the best group you've ever worked with? Group or person you've ever worked with in your music journey?
That's a
you
good
just think about. Yeah, you just outlined a lot of things you look out for in bands, bandmates, and all that.
It's always been different though, because even personally, I've evolved as well. When I started, I wasn't as good as how I am now, and I'm still looking forward to going and getting better. Yeah, so it's different. It'll be a bit difficult to actually say unless we put it into music and genre and lateness and who did I fire the most? Who did I?
We just see that there may be 2 or 3 people. Will be left.
No, there are guys I'm very proud of both here in the UK that I've mentored or have in bands and
names.
Here in Ghana, like I said, I'll say Francis, Dominic, and some of the guys from OBY band. In the UK, Josh McKenzie, who is brother of Labyrinth, and he's doing his thing, he's doing amazing things. Eric Papule, he's like my twin brother musically. The guys I'm working with in the Kwame band right now in the UK, they are really dedicated, doing their thing. Graham Levins, who I work with Craig David from 2007, and he plays saxophone on all the new material. Aaron Ledard, who's given loads of time, Shay, Christopher Rahman. Yeah, there's some great guys.
Your involvement with Craig seems to be one of the biggest, feats in your journey. How did that come about? Did they find you?
They called me.
My man is good, man. He's good.
Well, I don't know if it was just good. They were looking for a keyboard player and a guitar player. They're looking for someone who could play both instruments as good as each other. And I think in 2001 there wasn't that many people that could play both as good as each other, and I happened to be one of the people that could do it. So I got the job, and 21 years later, I'm still there.
Wow, that must really pay, What about notice, Now let's come back to Ghana. I mean, since we're talking about here, we'll get back to your personal life in a bit. There's one thing I want us to, discuss. People really say a lot, and I'm sure you've heard this, that Ghana doesn't have a music industry in comparison with what exists elsewhere. You have touched a lot of, economies, music economies. You've been to the UK, you've been there. That's like your turf.
Yeah.
And then the Ghana terrain as well. In your opinion, do we necessarily need to have something modeled on what we know as an industry in order to succeed? Do we need that industry structure? I'm not going to talk about whether it is or it is. Do we need it?
Yeah, I think every system needs something that they can govern themselves by. But when you work in a system that does not pay or has no rules or doesn't have a structure that works, I don't think
a system that doesn't work.
There has to be some system, some form of structure that actually you can follow and get something at the end of it. Because the people making music here, I mean, I don't get anything from Ghana. But because I have my other system that I get from other places, so but I don't get no payment or airplay or anything from whatever goes on in Ghana, which is not good. But I'm not talking about myself. How about the people who haven't got the other stream of income from somewhere else? They need to get, this is all they have, and they're making so much music and so much stuff here. They need to get some return. They need to get some reward back from what they're doing. There has to be some system in place for that.
Let's further on that. What form of system would you prescribe if you have opportunity? If we find ourselves in a position where we can actually cause a change, which I think we do, on our level. What kind of system would you prescribe? You've met different systems. What sort of things do you think we have to improve upon? Royalty systems.
I mean, obviously, I mean the royalty system works in different ways. Like in the UK or in other places, every little bar or commercial place kind of pays something. If everyone was paying 50 pesos, if every single appeal bar or GC or whatever was paying 1 CD towards whatever music they play, the artists that produce that music will be able to get that money, and they can then be able to now make higher quality music and not just also go to a small place each time to go and make that music, and then we will be the same people to say, the music is not good enough. When you listen to Beyonce and these guys, they have better sound and instruments or microphones to use, and we don't have that here. But that's because we're not paying for it, and we're not funding the people that are making the music to get them to progress into the next year, basically.
I like that. Now, still on that, a lot of stakeholders, have talked about the need for the government to support, the arts sector, but few have indicated what exactly the sector needs. Now, based on a needs assessment and your experience, what do you think must be prioritized in order to, speed up the process? Is it forming? I mean, we have a creative arts sector, we have a ministry and all that. This is a bit technical, I'm sorry.
Hold on. So did you just say we have a what?
A creative arts sector. We have a ministry.
Okay.
Yes, we have a ministry set for that.
They must be doing a great job.
Wow, Kwame, really?
I mean, do you want me to lie?
No, I was expecting. I was expecting Eskin to say it, and then you will defend it.
We're actually talking about the thing not working, and then you're saying we have a body.
There can be a monitoring system.
Yeah.
A system that monitors.
Yeah.
But they will be monitoring something that doesn't. It happens,
But it's not just that's just what happens here with everything we do. We are talking about it like it's just the music sector that needs this, but everything.
Other sectors,
the transport system needs that.
Our health system,
the road safety, the road, everything needs that. It's yeah.
So I mean, speaking from the solution point of view, because we're here, I believe whatever chance we have to discuss whatever situation we find ourselves in, there should be a point where we hammer on solutions. So that
solutions first, we need to hire the right people. Hire the right people for the right jobs, which you and I know it doesn't work in the system that we live in right here.
They won't call you. They won't call the people who are experienced.
That's what I mean. No one is calling me to come and even help or do it for free. But they will just say he's expensive. Well, how do you know when you haven't called me? Oh, you haven't called from.
You haven't called. I get that a lot. Because it's in glasses.
Yeah.
Today I decided not to wear my glasses because I didn't want Kwame to feel I'm super expensive, and so I decided to take it off. And I have to squint at some point.
If I take it off, I'm gonna crash into someone.
Wow. So apparently we need to put the right places,
because we're not helping the whole system to work. It's kind of it's just it's a ticking time bomb that's just gonna one day it's gonna just fall on its whole face and crash and burn, and no one will know.
At some point, it was announced that the government is getting directly involved, and they intending on building a recording studio for musicians, a national recording studio thing. When you heard about that, how did you feel? And realistically speaking, do you think we are getting closer?
Well, I think what I thought was someone wanted to make some money, so they just thought, let's give this money to this guy to buy instruments, and then
I'm sure a minister,
and then he will make money. I'm a Ghanaian, I know how the thing works here. Yeah. So when they build the studio, who's it going to be for? Who's going to record in there?
They will call people like you to come in.
Well, no one calls me anyways. It's not like
this is by the way, man.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
wow, I'm enjoying this.
No, they should get.
I like how blunt you are.
Well, that's me. No, they should get these monitoring systems to monitor people like your stations, all the broadcasting stations, all the FM stations, all the bars. So when they play the music, it gets logged onto a system, and then we know that this week this person played this much music, and it's this guy's music they played, and that guy should make way more money than the guy who's not making as much money as.
I mean, I'll tell you what, there are systems like that, but the implementation bit of it, in getting new policies implemented, you go through a lot here in Ghana.
Good.
The young people who have, I know of a brand.
You said we have a ministry.
Yes.
No, we don't. Then you just said you can't implement anything.
I mean, passing these things to the top, because you see how you have a band, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a piece of work I think should be replayed, and I have access to that. The situation we have in Ghana right now is in getting access to you to present the play, I think, or the piece, I think, will do magic. The piece, I think, will bring in a lot of money for your band. So much that at some point I also start earning something small. The bottlenecks, there are channels in between who may not really understand what you're trying to achieve, or will not really see the bigger picture. And so that is the problem, in my opinion. I mean, that's the problem we have now. So we put people,
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we have to
that's what we're talking about.
And then in between that, there's a problem.
It's the same thing. Hire the right people for the right job. If these people were the right people for the job, they will know how necessary it is to get.
They will understand.
They will know. They don't, they will not feel inferior because they're not good at what they do. They can't bring in professionals to do the job next to them because they get exposed in that way.
Kwame, off discussions on our music business, I think that one will be after the show. Guys, I'll have a private conversation with him and then bring you bulletins on what he shares. Have you had any low moments in your journey? You described your biggest moments a few minutes ago, but have you had moments where things make hard way, just to motivate our people?
Yeah, no, I mean, there are always hard moments, especially, I won't mention the COVID thing because everyone went through that, but we had it very hard. The entertainment industry had it, the hardest than anywhere else. Any of that. So there were times where I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to have to think about the accounting thing.
Kwame the accountant.
Imagine, I have glasses
in your black suits and your
say it again.
shirts,
No, but now it's easy. You can just be at home and
work from home. Yeah.
I imagine myself being a fat guy, a massive stomach, in my desk like that. Yeah, no, I have had some low moments, but they were all related to not being a good father or not doing what I was meant to do, because there were things that I did in being a parent that was not exactly what I was supposed to do. But like I say, you don't get prep for any of these things. You make your own mistakes, and then musically I've been blessed enough to always, even if it's a day before I get evicted, I get something coming in. And if I didn't have anything to do, I think I could go and play a Golden Tulip Hotel and let them pay me some little money.
That's set up a quick gig.
That's what I'm saying. No, just go there and be like, hi, my name is Kwame, I'm a very good pianist. Don't you want to play your piano? Okay, you can play for 50 cedis an hour. How about food? Yeah,
you get a plate
and some drinks,
and you get a glass.
Cool. And
you can use a swimming pool when nobody's in there.
That's what I mean. How about giving me a night here because I'm tired? No,
you always find your way around.
That's what I mean. If you have the blessings that I've been privileged to have, you don't have that issues. But if you want to be as rich as the richest people on the planet, then you have to do a bit more than just
put in extra.
You have to put in some extra work and not just do music alone like I do.
Let's talk about the current, trend of artists you work with. You work with Manifest, all these guys. How is it like working with talents? You've had so much experience, through your music journey, producing, playing yourself, being the lead, leading a band, doing all these things. When you come back and you have to work with artists who are trying to send their music, beyond the borders of Ghana, how do they pick up? How fast do they pick up? Do they welcome change? Do they welcome opinions? How is it like?
Yeah, some do. Some have their own ideas of how things should be, and I listen to people. Okay. I don't just come in and be like, okay, this is how it's going to be. I listen, and I try to share ideas and throw things to people. Some artists are receptive to that, and some are not. And I don't have a problem with it. I'll just have to think about what we do, and if someone is paying for it, then there's no problem. But if no one's paying for it, then
the pay bill is always important.
Not just that, but if no one's paying for it, then I know we're not going to do that because that's going to go nowhere. Yeah. That's going to be a waste of my time if I don't actually let us take it here to make the money for both of us. And you'd be like, no, let's do it this way. Like, just still going to get the thing. So, yeah.
If you're not playing music, if you're not recording, or talking music, what do you spend your time doing? Apart from family, let me take family out.
Yeah.
You have some free time for yourself. What are you doing apart from doing music?
I used to be into plants a lot, but then it changed the last few. And I like shooting pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
I think so. I'm quite direct, and I'm pretty good I can hit it straight in the middle.
I want to challenge you to a game.
When you're ready.
Boss, can you make that happen? Can you arrange for us?
I don't know if you can.
If I win, and this is on record, you know, if I win, Kwame would have to play a show for us.
No problem. But I bet you
Kwame
will
wins.
not win.
If Kwame wins,
I bet you will not win.
I will follow him to the UK and go and do PR job for him for free for a month.
You know what? I will come with my
All of
cape.
mine.
I'll come with my cape. Just so you know,
it right.
I'll
Just
come with a
scare
cape.
me.
Just so you know, this guy knows how to shoot pool.
We can go to Andy Safo right after here. Yeah, I'm really tempted, but it's fine.
I'm ready.
It's fine.
I'm ready.
Kwame, let me just stand off that. If I decide to go further, we'll be challenged so much.
My brother, I am here and I am ready for you. I am ready.
Me to a pool game.
To a pool game, man.
Eskin. No, be anything.
By the way, I mean, you do PR job, you said.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll pay attention to this.
No problem.
Definitely.
We'll talk on this.
Yes,
That's
definitely.
You guys didn't hear this, right? It's said that in a room with 10 successful individuals, the meaning of success, you know, will be different. I mean, basically asking, the definition of success differs from person to person. In your opinion, how or what do you call success? How do you describe success?
Having the best pools, you know, let's take the... Because the thing is, when I turn up, I come in my
it's not the best.
My own steak is right in my car.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
The
guys that carry their steak, they are the ones that can't play nothing.
You know what? Trust me, I'm not that.
And they put their glove on.
No gloves. No gloves. No gloves.
We use the sex that in the room.
No gloves. Just a cape. Or come with a cape. Forget the cape is coming. I get there and I'll be like, yes, I'm ready. Let's shoot. Success is not merited by money for me. It's by intellect and consciousness and how far you've gone with your understanding of what this life is about and the journey we're about to embark on after we leave here. That's success.
What is next for you? In terms of the future, you just mentioned something very important. The life we're living after here. It can mean two things: after we're gone, or after this interview, or in the next few years.
That's
what is
I mean.
up next for you? Are you doing something you haven't done in the past?
Yes, I am trying to bring out some different series and forms of educational programs to help the African or the Ghanaian person learn the instrument as it's supposed to, because the models we have are all models by someone else's way of doing things and not by our way of doing things. Like the syllables we use here is not made by us, is it? Yeah. So that's what I'm.
It's spot on. I had this question from one of our listeners, Asari inside Hachu.
Okay.
He said, Rev, is Kwame going to set up a music school for us anytime soon?
I've had one for a long time. But the thing is, I wasn't doing it like
mainstream.
In mainstream, it was more the people that I find that I think are talented. I bring them close and I do stuff with them and I make them one of my disciples, and then we work together, and then I impact everything I have. I impact everything I have. I share everything I have with everybody. As you can see, like everybody that's come through me or through my camp is doing the big thing right now. Anyway, you look at it, from Dan Brown, from high school band, the Sun Trophy guys, St. Francis, they're all my disciples. They're all people that came through me that have been able to get to wherever they are, and also I hope they can carry on and get it bigger, and other people can also jump on the same wagon, and but I see the mistakes I made from when I was doing certain things because I didn't know, and now I can make a new model that will then be better and that can serve a bigger audience than just the people that can play.
Lovely plan. Thank you for that. Growing up, I grew up in Kumasi. I went to Army Basic School, and I remember very well. I stand to be corrected? Then there was a course called Music and Dance, right? Yes, where at some point I had to learn theoretically how to play instruments. You draw the keyboard and all that. I never really saw one at that time.
That's why you have to draw it.
Yes, you have to draw it. The only chance I'd seen one would be the church, but you never in the Catholic church, you never really get the opportunity to go out there.
You can't.
The pulpit is a no-no for you.
You're Catholic.
Yes,
I was a mass server.
Me too. We know ourselves. Some knuckle for that. We are the people running the church. No, I was a master.
Oh yeah.
I was a master in the Catholic church. I was a master as a guy. Wait, hold on. Oh no, relax. Ganj, relax. Don't worry, Ganj, relax. I will show you pictures and videos. I'm not that old. I have records. Okay, I will show you, and then you can go.
Wait. What are you trying to say? I have no. I have no pictures. What are you trying to say?
That's me. No. Relax. Do you have pictures?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, at my time we still had.
We had none of them.
Yeah, I have. So I'm going to use that as proof.
That's so wrong.
No. Not that wrong. So I learned the music instruments the hard way. I never really got the chance to perfect that, but I want to find out from you. I mean, a lot of people are listening, stakeholders. If there's the opportunity for you to support, or partake in a national initiative to help, every child, everywhere, at least learn how to play a music instrument. Would you say yes?
Absolutely.
And do you think it's a feasible project?
I think it's something that is well overdue. That should have happened from a long time ago. And if there were any stakeholders that were interested in that, someone would have approached me already.
Yeah, listen,
because I've tried to do that myself, but it's way too big. And I'm a music head, so there's some music playing in my head
all the time.
Do you know what I mean? If there was an entity that was ready to also help the other side of it to make this a mandatory thing for the whole of Ghana, of course I'm here to send my nation to. I will be here. Just get rid of the people that are not right.
The ones that are not doing the job, right? I like that. Are you listening to any new Ghanaian sounds these days? Who are you listening to?
Yeah.
Your playlist. Which songs are in there?
I mean, I can't go 1 minute without hearing Kelvin Boy, so
okay.
What can I say? I have no choice but to listen to it.
Yeah. What about him do you love? He's a live band. Yeah.
He played in my band before. He played in Obi-Wan before, yeah. I like Kelvin, he's close as well.
Apart from him, who else are you listening to?
I listen to Quincy Arthur stuff. I listen to Brian Kilbeats as well. He's someone as close as well. We talk. I do listen to all of them. Guilty Beats, also a good friend, and we meet sometimes. I meet with them and we share ideas and do stuff together. I do listen to the majority of the stuff that happens, but I don't listen to it for a long time because music is much easier than it used to be. Yeah. Like back in the day, every song had an introduction, a bridge, a this and a that. Today, the songs are 2 minutes.
Some of the words even start before the intro.
Yeah, so I can get through a lot in a short time.
I do listen to a lot of them.
I do listen to a lot of them.
Another thing I want to find out from you, since we are talking about Ghanaian artists and the industry, what is your opinion on people always saying an artist should be able to play live band? And how urgent it's become so much that people who haven't really learned are being forced into it. I say this because a lot of the comments that were raised after the just ended VJ was the fact that a lot of them didn't really excel with regards to the live band performances. Don't you think we're forcing certain things on them? Must every good artist know how to play the live band?
Who was the musical director?
I do not know.
Okay.
We should put the right people in the right place again. No, but generally, beyond that, this is just the event. Okay?
Well, I think
beyond that,
I think
generally,
live band is a thing that whenever I hear that name, I don't like that term live band. You know why?
What should it be called?
Because each time, live is live.
Yeah.
If you're playing live, you're playing live. Even if you whatever you do, and even if you play with a DJ and you're singing your part, it's a hip hop gig. You'll be doing your own skits with just a backing track. That's still live. And today we play with computers, so it's the same. When I hear live band, I kind of relate it to there's a band playing at a drinking spot over there.
They're playing live,
and it sounds horrible. It's like when they say it's a live band, it should be like today. The production and what we have is amazing. Like if you listen to, I just came off a tour with Craig David. If you listen to the sound just from my Instagram feed on the stage where there are no speakers, it's a different story. But if you listen to the front of house where the speakers are coming from, you think, are they really playing? Who was the musical director? Who was the guy that put the stuff together? Who was the guy that worked with the artist? Who was the, how long the artists prepared before the show? Did they have any good rehearsals before how many days did they have to go through whatever they had to go through?
All that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're wrapping up at this point. Any words of encouragement for or inspiration for young music heads, people who are looking at picking, because it's not easy.
They should listen to my music.
Do you mentor any artists now, like upcoming artists? Are they moving to you? That's the thing.
Some are, and everyone that actually calls or comes to the door, I have time and we spend time together. And we go through the stuff that we need to go through, and I impact whatever I have, both good and bad.
More on that advice. Beyond listening to your music, what else should they do?
Oh no, I just said that because I only said that because I want them to listen to music anyway. Yeah, I think what they need to do is take whatever they're doing seriously and live that. What I realize here is when someone is called an artist, they only become an artist when they have a show.
That's true.
It's not like every day.
They don't live it.
Exactly. That's the main thing. If you're a musician, you don't get up and get dressed and go out and go and do stuff and do rounds and then come back home at night and sleep.
That's put the artists on the side and they go and do their thing.
That's not part of what you're meant to be doing. If you were a lawyer, you wouldn't get up in the morning and sit in your car and go around and look amazing in your car and run around and go eat at the good posh places and come back home. When you get up, you work out, you do your exercises, whether it's vocal or it's instrument playing or whatever, every day.
No days out.
Well, what's your job again?
An artist.
Good. So what do? You
be an artist.
Good. So you do that, and then from there you go write music, or you go to rehearsal, you do this, you do that, but you can't just be an artist and get up in the morning and just
can't be there.
Look good.
Be waiting for gigs. In that sense, yeah.
Well, if it's the job, you do, like when you get up in the morning, what do you do?
I research straight on that.
That's what I mean.
And I come to work and I listen to my shows again and I build on the wrong parts.
Yeah.
And then even
that's how it's meant to be. So all the ones that did not do good live band shows, they should go back and listen to the show from VGMA and then build on it from now till next year. So the next VGMA next year will be much better. Don't you think they had the same thing last year and the year before?
Kwame Yeboah. Guys, I enjoyed my moment with him. It's been like an hour, 8 minutes. I enjoyed this. Wish you the very best. I know you have a show on Saturday. You're going back to London, but how soon are you back?
I live here.
Okay. Or until a gig brings you back?
No, I live here.
Okay.
I live here. I mean, maybe this June.
You see the babies coming?
Well, yeah, no, the babies because myself and my daughter and son might go out for 3 weeks or something like that, and then be back again. Yeah, so.
Alright, sure. Whenever you're back, we'll definitely grab you back in the studio. Maybe not for Leaderboard Series.
Anytime.
Talk more about the music. It's been an awesome ride. Wish you the very best. And I would like to say a big thank you to you and for your team.
I want to ask a question. What's that music you're playing?
It's an instru from.
Good. Why is it not my instru by some guy from somewhere?
Tell you what.
Tell me why.
Copyrights, right?
Copyright
streaming on here. I think we should have taken consent from you. Your consent.
That's what I'm saying. You should be playing my one. But don't play this again.
I'll tell you what, Kwame.
Don't play this again. No, next time don't play this again. Play my one each time you do the show.
We're about to actually play all your songs.
Not all the ones, but the new ones I've done, the instrumental ones.
Yeah, that should have been.
No. Don't worry.
We should get it going now.
From now, yeah.
Yeah, we will.
And I'll listen to all the other ones.
So it should be the instru we use.
There we go.
Now that we have your word,
easy,
and we have the consent so that Facebook will not flag us.
Yeah, Facebook don't flag them. They let them artists to me.
I think we have to sign one or two things so they don't think we're trying to make money with it. That's why we took this one because the person is not here. Oh, it's far away. So
he knows. One day he's gonna call you. One day you call him.
But we take that you.
No, I think that's what should happen. I mean, my new things that I've made actually because KKD called me one time and said, you know what? The presenters don't have any music to play from Ghana. There's all the ones they can play from like the old Kwame Ellis. So I made this album hoping that all the stations.
Yeah, but it starts from here.
Some like
I pledge.
I'm not hearing it.
I pledge.
You guys should be playing that stuff. And not just mine, but all the guys that do
exactly.
that's instrumental here. Like Victor Day, Akablay, all the guys that
need access from them, one, and then two, policy bit of it. The fact that now these days social media doesn't work like it used to. You play certain things we stream and things are taken down. We wouldn't want to go through the stress of doing this whole interview and now it gets taken down by YouTube. So we'll go through that. I mean, we'll start with yours. Now that you're presenting it to us officially, I mean, for promotional purposes only, we'll definitely get onto it. And through that, other people may also
perfectly. Because we all need that, and everyone from here needs to get to that place. Because as you can tell, only popular music gets played on radio in Ghana. What happens to folk? What happens to all the other genres of music? You know, it's a bit weird to have people wanting to play instruments, but then you don't want to promote instrumental music. You know, so that should be one of the things that I think all the stations need to come together and play the music.
It starts from YFM. We're good with that. Trust me, and I tell you this just to also let you know that it's a tandem we've been on. So some of the stations will just get your songs. We request for songs and request for instruments as well. So every good piece that we have, every big song that is there now, Kelvin Boy's Down Flat, all his songs, we do have the instrument as well. But for long interviews like this, so we don't.
No, but Kelvin Boy is good at live band, right?
Huh?
Kelvin Boy is good at live band.
He's good
at live band.
He played with you, man. Okay. He played with you. He played with you. He's good. I mean, he's good. That the names they mentioned, Kelvin Boy wasn't. Was he part, Miss? No, Kelvin Boy wasn't part.
He wasn't part of
the people that were receiving
the last class. Yeah. I'm saying you should find the people behind the stuff because well, I mean, I'm sure that there would have been a board that sat down and they would have planned the whole show. There would be a director, there would be production, there would be whatever and everything. There would be a sound crew, there would be this, there would be that, and this is where we came. Who was the producer?
Guys, that's Kwame Yeboah for you. I love his personality. He's quite straightforward. I mentioned that in the beginning of it. I didn't know we'd go this far with it, but I look forward to having you back sometime soon. Let's talk about something else. Whenever you're luckiest.
I will love
we'll stay in touch.
Let's stay in touch.
We'll definitely stay in touch.
Let's do that.
13 past 11, 107.9 FM. Had a good talk with Kwame Yeboah. Make sure you check him out. Kwame, before you go, I think I've seen you on Twitter. Do you handle that account yourself?
Yes, I do. But
okay, let's get more followers.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm better with Instagram and Facebook.
Okay,
yeah, I'll get better with Twitter.
Kwame
Official on Twitter. IG is Kwame _ Yeboah. That's 2 underscores. Some guy took it before me. So.
It's all good, guys. A quick reminder: Why Little More Serious is powered by MTN Ghana everywhere you go. MTN is saying a big thank you to all lovely customers with special freebies to celebrate your special anniversary on the network. Now, they're saying if you've been a part of the Yellow family for 5, 10, 15, or 20 years, MTN will definitely spice up your special milestone with a whole 3 hours of MTN talk time, up to 1.5 gigabytes of data to keep you and the family